I'm ready to roll.
Everybody else ready? You guys good? You guys good? Okay. Oh, let's let this group get in here. All right. I want to welcome everybody to the November board meeting. By my clock, it is 5 o'clock, so we're going to get started right on time today. I appreciate everybody coming out today and being a part of this. I'm going to officially call the meeting to order, and the first order of business is I'm going to invite Mar Delgado Garcia to come to the podium and lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So our student representative today is Mar Delgado Garcia, and her parents are here with her today. It's Alicio Delgado Miranda and Teresa Garcia Arroz. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Really appreciate you being here today. You've got a 3-page resume here that is just really impressive, and I don't want to steal any of your thunder here. I was going to let you just kind of introduce yourself to everybody and tell us what you think about HAR-BER and what you've been doing this year.
Well, first off, I would like to thank you all for being here and giving me the opportunity to represent my school. I was born in Mexico, specifically Sombrerete, Zacatecas. My family immigrated to the U.S. when I was 5 years old. We all dreamed of the American dream, of course, and my parents wanted my older sister and I, Karen Delgado, she actually gave a speech last year here, to have a better opportunity in our education and our overall lifestyle. It has been a very challenging and a very long road here in the U.S. However, I am very grateful for the great staff at Jones Elementary, which is where I initiated my education. I went through the ESL program, and it was a very challenging course because, of course, I was not used to the language and the culture here in the U.S. However, I did have wonderful teachers who helped me and guided me throughout the process. I then moved to Biyari Elementary because my family, I guess we migrate a lot to different homes. I finished my elementary education there for 5th grade. It was also a great school. I very much enjoyed my time there. I didn't completely understand or grasp the language and the culture here in the U.S. until after 5th or 6th grade, simply because I was very behind. I am not the best test taker. I never thought that I would actually be anywhere in high school, like know what I was doing or what I wanted to pursue. It wasn't until I went to Central Junior High that I began understanding the process of the education system, and I wanted to challenge myself, and I took my very first AP class, which was AP Human Geography. It was during COVID-19, and it was a very stressful time for everyone. I was trying to adapt to the new education system, or just the overall process of teaching. I then went to, or am in HAR-BER High School. I am currently president of Senior Class Council, vice president of Spanish Honor Society, and an active member of HOSA NHS. It has been a wonderful beginning of the year, I will say. It has been very challenging. I very much love my teachers at HAR-BER. They are all very encouraging, and I love that they challenge all of us. I love that they are always there for us and let us know that it is okay to fail, which is something that not many students understand or actually are willing to go through, because of course it's a very stressful process. But I very much live through failure. I have failed certain tests in my classes, like let's say I failed my first test in AP Bio. I was very stressed and I didn't know what to do. My older sister, Karen, she's a very harsh sister. She very much let me know that I either should get up or I should just move on and quit the class. However, I am not a quitter, and I knew that I was not going to let this test define my worth as a student. And I continued taking on the course, and of course, I passed the test at the end of the year. I very much love my Mandarin class as well. It's a new language, and I wanted to expand my horizons in cultures and overall languages. And I actually passed the seal of biliteracy for Mandarin this past, I think 3 weeks ago. I was very shocked because I didn't really expect myself to pass this test. It was very new to me, and I actually enjoyed it. It's been the best decision of my high school career. I love my teacher. She's the most encouraging. It's Miss Chen. She has been with me since my sophomore year. I consider her my adoptive mother by now. She has just been so great and has encouraged me to continue taking challenging courses and continuing to challenge myself overall. I have taken on projects in senior class council. I know that my counselors have been very stressed on informing or getting in contact with our seniors because it's a very stressful month. It is college applications, scholarships, and I know as a senior that it is a very stressful process, and not everyone knows how simple it can be if they learn to reach out. So I got with my counselors, Ms. Sugg, and I was like, how can I help you? I would like to assist in whatever way I can. We got together with our seniors and created a Google slide or overall information for them and let them know that their counselors are there for them and that this application for colleges shouldn't be as hard as they think it is. I love how the majority of students are very much different in my school. They all have different approaches and different situations, and I know that it can be difficult to get in contact with the majority. So as Spanish Honor Society Vice President, I have been trying to get with as many of my Hispanic students or classmates, and letting them know about this information for just specifically the Hispanic community, because the majority of Hispanics don't usually go to college or continue to pursue their education in college. And I wanted to let them know that they are not the only ones and that this process shouldn't be difficult. So that's pretty much as I can think of for now.
What are your plans? Where do you want to go to school? What do you want to do?
I have applied for early decision to WashU, which is the college or the university that my older sister is attending. She's the first gen. I am the last in my family, actually, to graduate. I have 10 siblings or 9 siblings. I'm the 10th. I'm the youngest of them all. And I really want to let my parents know that their risks or that the overall challenges that they encountered were all worth it. And I plan to major in biology. I want to go to medical school and become a general doctor or a physical therapist.
Board, does anybody have any questions for Mar?
So are you considered trilingual, Mandarin?
Yes, I am trilingual now.
That's awesome.
Wow, very impressive. I don't think a lot of people understand the complexities of Mandarin.
Yeah, it is.
It is a very difficult, it's hard enough to learn English, and then Mandarin is just amazing.
I have no doubts that you will succeed at whatever you do.
Thank you.
Based on the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you said it took you a minute to get it figured out, but it looks like once you got it figured out, I mean, you've done 8 AP classes, and I mean, this reads really well, all the stuff that you've done. So I think you got it figured out, and I mean, the sky's the limit for you. So Board, if there's nothing else, we appreciate you being here.
Is your family here?
Right?
Yes,
Mom and dad are
this
here.
is my mom,
Dad?
Teresa Garcia, and my father, Eliseo Delgado Miranda. This is my
Get
older
up.
sister, Wendy
Awesome.
Rosales, and my nephew, out of 20 or 23, I think, nephews in these.
Holy cow.
He's Jared. And they're just
We appreciate y'all being here. That's awesome. Okay. So now, the agenda, are we set on the agenda? We need to change anything? Okay.
Except there was one portion, we did have a personal hearing with that.
That's not there. Yep, gotcha. So, need somebody to,
I make a motion to accept the agenda as amended for item I.
okay. All right, I have a motion by Mrs. Creek, a second by Mr. Emerson to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That brings us to our consent agenda. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to look through that. Are there any questions, anything about that we need to speak about?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Second.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Ramos and a second by Mrs. Cook to accept the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed to that? All right, that brings us to our presentation by our superintendent, Dr. Cleveland,
Yes,
who
sir.
I think is going to pass it back to me.
Pass back to you for the next two.
Okay, first thing on our presentation by the superintendent is Mr. Ramos has, according to the state, ASBA, Arkansas School Board Association, has hit his, or is getting his certificate of boardmanship. And I've got a pin to present to him that he can wear proudly if he'd like. So, congratulations.
Appreciate
Here you
it.
go. Okay. And then the second thing, also having to do with the Arkansas School Boards Association, is we have been recognized as an outstanding board, which I believe means that we have, each of us have completed at least 25 hours of training after, what is it, PD? So we got a plaque that we're going to hang somewhere in the boardroom or just outside the boardroom. And next goal is to get the master board status, which is 50 hours. So hint, hint, everybody needs to get that 50 hours in. So, all right. So that's everything for me. I'm going to pass it back to Dr. Cleveland.
Well, thanks. What he didn't say is how hard it is to be a school board member sometimes, especially over the last several years. But these people are amazing. They represent well, love kids, love our staff, and really do a great job, and are considered leaders not only in the state but in the nation. I've witnessed that. I know that they've presented nationally, and these ladies and gentlemen are the best of the best. And so Springdale's very fortunate to have them. And of course, they do my evaluation, and that's in January, and so I've really been trying to make sure that they remember my kind remarks. I'm teasing. There are ones.
Pretty good plug, right?
That is a good plug. But thank you for all you do and the time that you give. It's not just at school board meetings. It's at lunch, work sessions, and going to schools, and going to the activities of the kids, and all of those things. So anyway, just thank you. I'd like to introduce Ms. Shannon Tischer, Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Instruction. As you know, we've been working hard, diligently, to change the face of public education in Springdale. Dr. HAR-BER, Workforce Development.
Hey, good evening, board and Dr. Cleveland. Tonight is such an exciting night because we have so many students here that you are going to get to meet and interact with who are currently in apprenticeships with our local industry partners. And as you all know, we're working very hard to come alongside with our industry partners and with our master teachers in our school district and get our super talented students into the workforce, not just after high school, but during high school. We want to give them opportunities to earn while they learn, So we kind of call that earning and learning. And we want to expose them to their areas of passion and interest that they're studying during the school day. And just really quick, before I invite Mr. Ellis to the podium, I just want to revisit our big audacious goal number 5. We have spent a lot of time this year really talking about our goal number 5. Each student will engage in college and career readiness planning that will lead to a post-secondary graduate placement or career track. That is a pre-K through 12 big audacious goal, and we all play a role in that process. What that means to me, what this goal means to me, is that preparation, those conversations, that exploration of their passions, their curiosities, their goal planning, their career planning, all leads them to what we call a diploma plus. So it's one thing to get your diploma and walk across stage. What we don't want to happen is that you receive your diploma and you go home and you sit down and you hold it and you have no idea what to do with it. What do I do next? What we want is for every student to receive their diploma plus a placement. They know exactly where they're going the very next day. They may already have industry certifications. They may have a job. They may be going directly into the workforce. They may be going off to school or to technical school. And so we are all working very hard to make that a reality. In just a moment, Mr. Ellis, Rodney Ellis, our workforce training director, is going to come forward, and he's going to talk to you about some of the placements, not all of the placements. We're going to try and highlight these at least quarterly for you, but some of the placements that we already have going on this year. And something that's really exciting to me is that Dr. Cleveland and our district have also placed students. And so we actually have an MOU with ourselves where we actually are placing our own students. And so they're working with us and while they're also going to school. And so with that, I will have Mr. Rodney Ellis come forward and talk about some of these placements. Thank you.
Well, good evening, Board. Appreciate the opportunity to be in front of you this evening, but most importantly, to be able to highlight these students that we have. They're going to give you their name and who they work for, just a brief description about their path. And as Ms. Tischer said, it's really exciting. We don't have everyone, obviously, from the district on this list, so that's why we'll bring them in quarterly. But we're tracking these, and so as we move forward, we'll be able to give you different clips of that on a spreadsheet and a dashboard so that you can see how this looks throughout the year. So we've got all 3 high schools listed here. A lot of these students on here are actually working. They can't be here tonight, so that's a good thing. So it's about options for our students. As Earn While You Learn, we're doing internships. We're doing some, I'd call them job shadowing. We're doing some pre-apprenticeship and some apprenticeships. So we have a lot of variation for our students to be able to go on the tracks. And a lot of times when you hear that, a lot of people think that that's a dead end, that that's a dead connection. That's not what that means at all. We all know that in industry, you have to continue training to be successful. Every successful business and company wants their employees to be trained. That means they're going to be more productive, more proficient. So what we start them on here is a pathway that can lead them in several directions. A lot of employers now, just because of the work-based needs, are opening up a lot more pathways as far as training opportunities and advanced education opportunities for their employees because they're having to work with what they have to upskill and retool. But that's also giving us a lot of opportunities as a district to bring our students in where industry has not looked at high school students previously. So age is not the factor that it was 3 or 4 years ago prior to COVID. So with all that being said, I'm going to pull them up by group. We have some teachers here who will bring up their students. Each student will introduce themselves to you and give a brief description, as I said, of where they're placed and what they're doing. And then at the end, we'll have us all fan out, and if you have any questions for them, you can shoot away. So probably shouldn't say fire away, but that's not good either, right? So, all right. So we'll start off with Mr. Higginson. He's going to bring his DTSOI kids up, and then we'll move on from there.
So we have several students with us here this evening, a couple that have graduated the program and some that are still in the program. So we have Christian Venegas, Gabriel Alvarado, Aaron Thomas, Octavia Harlow, Jacob Bennett, and the last three are from Springdale. If you can introduce yourselves. If you will, just tell them a little bit about your job, what you're doing, and share your experiences with me, please.
Nice to meet you, Board. My name is Christian Venegas. I work for the school's HVAC team, and everything's been going good so far. Thanks to the industrial maintenance program at Tyson School of Innovation, I've been able to get a lot of certifications, hands-on work, and it's been a joy to be able to do it, and pretty blessed for like all the opportunities we've been able to get. Last summer, I as well internship at Chandler Equipment, and that was really nice. I was able to get in really good touch with Mr. Chandler, and so he's one of the people that wants me to go work for him once I'm done with high school, and he said that he'd be willing to pay for all my college and tuition once I'm done with school. So it's been a pleasure to be able to like meet a lot of people and have companies that want me to go work for them as well. So that's a little bit of what I do. Thank you.
My name is Gabriel Alvarado. Nice to meet you. I also work for the district HVAC. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of nice people there. And there's an industrial maintenance class. It helps us a lot. We get a lot of hands-on training, certificates, and we get to meet a lot of different, companies that want us to work for them. Yeah.
These two are excited to be wearing their yellow lanyards, okay? They give me a fist bump every morning when they come into work.
Yeah.
They're excited.
My name's Aaron Thomas, and I work at Kimball Mechanical doing HVAC installation work, and going from the industrial maintenance program to the workforce, it's really helped me with like learning how something works, taking it from a book, and then going out into the field and doing it with your hands. It helps me a lot, and I've been told a lot of times by my coworkers asking if I've ever done HVAC work before, since I've know so much about it from the industrial maintenance program. And then last summer I've also got to do a internship through Chandler Equipment, doing like building toolboxes and going throughout their entire company, getting to learn about like everything that goes into a company. So that's been really cool.
Good job.
Hi, my name is Octavia. I work at MCC. I graduated from SOI this past year, and I was in the industrial maintenance program for about 2 years. I feel like I learned so much in that class. Like, it's actually amazing. And I use stuff from that class every day. I learn something new every day, like I actually do.
Octavia was one of the students that helped to overhaul a 1950s engine lathe, metal lathe that wasn't working. We got it from another school. We've overhauled it, and it's totally refurbished, and it doesn't run. And so we've named it after her, so that's Octavia.
That's awesome.
Hello, I'm Jacob Barnett. I'm a senior at Tyson School of Innovation, and I'm currently at an internship with Northwest Arkansas Sheet Metal. So my school took a sort of field trip to their shop, and we kind of checked everything out. When summer hit, I sent them an email. The owner, he hit me back up, and I got an internship paid. It's been really great. I like the people I work with, especially. They're all pretty like-minded, open-minded, and honestly, I just enjoy being able to go to work.
Awesome. Good thing.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dylan Pike. I am a senior at Springdale High. I work for the district. I do electrical. Mr. Burkett and Joshua Rice got me into this program, and I'm really thankful for them. Over the summer, I worked for an electrical company, and I think this internship is going to help me get my journeyman's for electrical, and I'll be able to pursue my career as being an electrician.
Hello, my name is Pablo Cruz. Nice to meet you, school board. And I'm really glad to be here because I have my first year here at Springdale High School. I'm a senior, and I have an internship with Flinco, which is the company that's fixing up Springdale High School as we speak. What I can say, it's a great learning experience, especially because on days that we do not work, we do talk about opportunities such as college, FAFSA, doing my research on getting into universities. But of course, I do like to say that having a good partnership with Linco is not also just like working through the day-to-day procedures, such as checking OSHA standards, checking to see if everything's in check, such as machinery as well. But it's also a great learning experience for me since I have been working since the age of 15 in construction work. So they've really opened my eyes to see like what I really want to do after school. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mario, the last one. I'm doing my internship at Flinko as well. It's pretty cool. I like it. A lot of stuff they talk about, you know, some good stuff, some boring stuff. That's how it is. Yeah, I learned a lot. Learned about, you know, construction, how everything falls in place, you know, what else they need to do to check so it all falls in place. Yeah. Once I get out of high school, hopefully I stay with Flinko. If not, I'll go to NTI or NWAC, get my certification for welding, and see where I go from there.
So as my reminder said, I will introduce Ms. Melissa Fink to bring up our IAs in the
Mr. Ellis, I want to tell you thank you for joining our district, and this is exciting stuff. 10 years ago, we'd have never been talking about this kind of opportunity, and as an employer myself, I find it really gratifying that I hired a Springdale High School student 2 weeks ago. You and I didn't connect on a job we were looking for, but I think you know what to pursue next time, and you know, I think college is a great opportunity, and I don't want to discount college, but real world, real work experience is super exciting, and I think it will benefit our education change in Northwest Arkansas, because all these people are doing very important things right now, and a lot of people make a lot of money and have great careers in the technical and construction field. I think it's fantastic. Kudos to Springdale and Dr. Cleveland for going this way, and it just provides more opportunities. It's more choice for our kids. That's all. I just wanted to say that.
Well, as Ms. Tischer mentioned, we have an MOU with ourselves because we are placing some of our high school students in our elementary schools. Mr. Sennett from DTSOI called about a month and a half ago, and he said, hey, I've got this great idea. We've got some students in a technology club that we would love to use as technology assistants in our elementary. Well, because of confidentiality and cybersecurity issues, we weren't able to do that, but that sparked a conversation about, hey, but there is this huge need for instructional assistants. Do you think you might have some students that would be interested? He said, yeah, I bet we can make that happen. And so I started pulling up our job openings, and we had, at that time, I think 45 or 52 open instructional assistant positions in our schools. And so I contacted principals, and I said, hey, got this idea, I want to run it by you, let's do a Zoom. And so we Zoomed, we talked about the possibility of placing some of our students as interns in our buildings and pay them to do that. And they're like, yeah, let's give this a shot. So we worked together with Mr. Sennett, and honestly went into this with no expectations. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. But I will tell you, I was absolutely blown away by the quality of students that came to this interview. And it was pretty intimidating. You've got the assistant superintendent of Springdale Public Schools and 6 principals, and these kids knocked it out of the park. And what I'm really excited about is all of these students have expressed potential of maybe someday wanting to become a teacher, and 2 of them are bilingual students that would make them qualified to be hired on as instructional assistants full-time next year in our district, and then apply for the REACH program at the University of Arkansas, which would provide them free tuition and a pathway to teacher certification. So really, it's just another opportunity to grow our own and get teachers in front of our students that look like them. So at your seat, you have resumes. I copied the resumes from the students that applied. We had 5 candidates that we placed on 6 of our campuses. And I've asked Mr. Sennett to come and kind of give you a little backstory as to what DTSOI did to get our students ready for the interview process. And then I've invited Ms. Ferguson to give you a glimpse into what her perspective was and the emotions that were in the room the day of the interview process. And then Mr. Sennett will introduce 2 of our district instructional assistants. So, Mr. Sennett.
Thank you, Ms. Fink. So our students undergo a lot of preparation for college and career through our college and career readiness classes. So in many ways, a lot of these students have had a lot of training through those classes. But when Ms. Fink and I began working together, we wanted to ensure that the students that we put forth for this program shared the same passion and determination for excellence that we did. And so at DTSOI, we put forth a number of steps that we asked the students to complete to ensure that they were serious about this placement in the same way that we were. Things like mock interviews, preparation for interviews, looking over your resume, talking about email handles, talking about social media, all these different things. And so when we first put the call out to gauge interest from our student population to see how many students might be interested in this kind of thing, we got around 15, maybe a few more. And through our processes, we landed on 5 that we felt very comfortable with moving forward with the interview process for our principals. And it was amazing. It was a wonderful experience. When our principals were upstairs interviewing our students, we would send them up one after the other, and I had no nerves about them because I was very excited for them and very proud of them. And so, introduce the students now, Ms. Fink? Sure. Okay. With that said, I'd like to bring a few of them up in front of you right now. They are Brady Henson and Joanna Pacheco. Their families are here as well. So I'll let them speak a little bit about their interest. They haven't started yet. They're starting soon. But I'd like for them to just tell you a little bit about their interest.
Hi, I'm Brady Henson. So I got this call. It was an email that basically just said, hey, if anyone's interested, we may have an opening to go in. The way it was kind of described was, yeah, you'd be an instructional assistant in elementary schools, basically be helping out. And I immediately jumped on it because I think education and I think having an opportunity like that to be able to go in and kind of get hands-on experience working in classrooms, being able to work with kids, with youth directly in classrooms as a senior in high school, as someone who isn't graduated yet. I'm not technically an adult. I'm not in college. I don't have those responsibilities yet. But being able to go back and help out those in younger positions and be able to kind of go back and use my experience in their position to help them out, it's incredibly, incredibly exciting. And it's really interesting. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I'm really grateful for you guys letting me come and speak. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Joanna Pacheco, and I heard about this job because I am a virtual student, and one of my teachers, she sent an email like talking about the opportunity that they were given to students. So then I reached out to him and another teacher, and then I told him that I was interested. And in the beginning of the year, I didn't have no clue what I wanted to get into. And ever since I was pretty small, I knew that I had a passion to working with kids. I would always be involved in Bible school studies, with little kids. I would always pretend that I was the teacher with my nieces and nephews. So I knew that it was going to be a great opportunity, and it was a long process to get to the hiring point, but I know that it's going to be worth it because I know that I want to be part of the difference in a child's life, when they grow up, be oh yeah, this she was the one that helped me pass my math test, or just make a difference. Yeah.
Well, the experience was amazing. These 2 young people just are a small snippet of how amazing the group of 5 were that actually came to interview with principals. They were so professional. They were so well-spoken. Their work ethic is amazing. Joanna, for example, if I remember correctly, works at Walmart full-time, also while taking classes at DTSOI VIA, and keeps her sister's kids, somebody's kids at home at night. I mean, just when do you sleep? Her work ethic is amazing. And she's not gonna quit her weekend job. Her goal is to continue working as an instructional assistant throughout the week and then to work on the weekend. So amazing. They're filling a need that I've never experienced at Turnbow Elementary. I've never not been able to hire people for positions, but we still have instructional aid positions open. I actually hired Rita Catherine Hudson. She started today. She's absolutely a joy. She came and met with me last week and then started on our campus today in one of our classrooms. And just her interaction with the kids was just a blessing, and level of professionalism was right where we wanted it to be. So we look forward to, as Ms. Fink said, growing our own. That's what we want to do for sure. So if we can find future teachers and fill that need now, that's what we want to do. So hopefully we'll instill that passion in them. So thank you.
So we've got another big group that represents part of the district live stream, and we'll have Miss Rochelle Moore come up with her group, and then we've got a single after that, and that'll finish up our presentation. So there's several of the cinema and video students that are DTSOI and then SHS and then HAR-BER, and a lot of them are also out working, doing some of their own video shoots, so we're thankful to have this group here.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Amane. I'm a senior at Springdale, and it's my third year being in Bula TV. I came to talk about my experience working with Runner Space. We got the opportunity to film the chili pepper race that happened in Fayetteville, and my favorite thing about the chili pepper race was not only like getting hands-on experience with like the stuff I'm passionate about, but it was also like the money we made at the end. You know, it was $150 for 4 hours of work, and we worked 2 days, and yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Latakwa Tameng, and I'm a senior at Springdale High School. I'm a part of the Bulldog Media production. This year, as Kathy said, I was also hired by Runner Space to run a camera for their live feed. I'm also currently hired by the Retina Center in Fayetteville to shoot a promotional video for their website and capture photos for their brochures. Our production crew, we met with the client first to discuss what they wanted, and then we scheduled for a shoot, and we will finish the production tomorrow. We shoot tomorrow, and we'll start editing. My favorite thing about producing videos for clients is capturing the moments and stories that they want to be told. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you.
My name is Brian Tapia. I'm a senior in Bulldog Media Production, and I'm also working for the Retina Center for the Arkansas promotional video, but I'm also the technical director for the Bulldog live stream team. My junior year is when I started. I started with the basketball team, but I was also operating the video board for the football team. This year, I am one of the, I think, 4 directors for the live stream team. I was the technical director for the football, and I'm also going to do basketball again this year. And as a technical director, I'm in charge of my production crew and the gear, and I basically call the shots and run the live stream. And my favorite thing about being a technical director is being able to look back at the comments on the live stream and see the people that compliment the stream, knowing that I was a part of that, but also being able to experience the joys of winning and also the downs of losing with the team, because I love Springdale a lot.
Good evening, board. My name is Carlos Lupercio. I'm a junior in Springdale High School, and I'm also the new technical director for the basketball live stream. Just as Brian said before, there's 4 of them. I'm one of them this year. I have the same duties as him, but I'm moving up as well. I hope next year, my plan for next year is that I hope to be certified in the TriCaster, which is the system that we use for technical directing. I'm doing all of this while I'm going to work and also putting myself through rigorous programs such as IB and AP. So it's a really good program for me. I love it so much. I look forward to it because, you walk in, you learn something new every day. It's the thrill of it. Also, it's also where I fit in, it has a really good field of information technology, which is my interests. I was working with computers and such and programs. Just the other day, I heard that what was it? Channel 5. They were having a opening for camera operators, which use actual code to run the cameras, and it used HTML. So my Miss Nichols told me about it, and I almost jumped up really because it was so fun and exciting. So we're working on that right now, and I got a resume for that, and so that's really cool. I hope to gain more experience and more, action by doing this. I hope that I can move up eventually next year and teach this to other people.
My name is Tobias Hidalgo. I'm also a junior in the Bulldog Media Production, and I'm also enrolled in the first IB film class. I am on the live stream as a camera operator. My sophomore year, I started off by volunteering to help film the football games for the football team. That is a prerequisite for students that want to be on the Bulldog Media Production live stream team. I enjoy live stream because it gave me the chance to earn the experience for future prospects. It allowed me to witness firsthand what it'd be like working in the film and broadcast industry.
So as Mr. Miller brings his intern up, I just wanted to mention some of the HAR-BER students that are on your slide. They couldn't all be here, but we got several representations across the programs there from the live stream, from the AutoCAD class, and then from the animal science and plant science tracks that are on the ag side. So Mr. Miller, come on up and introduce your intern.
Dr. Cleveland, school board, we've had the opportunity to hire a few different interns to do some of our computer work in the district. And one of the few that we've hired, which has been amazing, is Shannon. So I'll let her introduce herself and tell you what she's been doing.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you here today. My name is Shannon Knowlton. I'm a senior at HAR-BER High School, and just last month I started working as a technician at Hellstern Middle School. It's been a learning experience, as everyone says, but it's not as fun, I would say, not all fun. There's a lot of struggle that you don't really get when you start the training as opposed to the real job. So it's been an eye-opener, but for the most part, it's been a really welcome change. I find that things that I've been learning completely new to me. And every day there's this problem that frustrates me all the same, like a math problem in class, but I persevere because I know that it's my responsibility. And that feeling is different than the one that you get for a grade, a letter grade or something like that. So it's been a lot of fun and I'm really happy to be here, short as it may be. But thank you for having me and I hope to serve the district well.
So do you have any questions for anyone?
How does it work, and they don't all have to answer this, but how does it work, scheduling wise with class in a classroom and working at Multicraft or wherever? How does that work?
Dylan, you want to answer that? So I'm in a JAG, which is job for graduates. And since I have most of my credits, I get out at 3rd hour, which is 11:56, but I go in at 7:45 because it's a 0-hour class. Okay. And then I go from there straight over to the district building where I go to work, and then just go on from there. And then that time that I work for those classes that I get out, it gives you credits since I'm in the JAG program.
Okay. Awesome.
Christian?
My typical schedule is I wake up at 5 in the morning to run to work at 6. I usually work from 6 to 11. If from there. I have like a period from 11 till our third period starts at 12:55, and then I go to my industrial maintenance class, which is a 3-hour class. And after that, usually Mondays and Tuesdays, I do a construction program down here at SHS. So that's been going really well. It gives me more experience, and all the certifications I'm doing as well. Right now I'm doing my EPA 600 for refrigeration and my CNC for milling. So I'm just trying to get all the experience I can get before I'm done with school. So it's been pretty great so far.
How about one last one from an IA perspective?
Yeah, so with DTSOI has like the A-B day split. So what I was able to do was kind of position like my core classes, my credits that I really need on my B days. So then on my A days, I could take that time to then go instead do the IA program, since I didn't have any like core credits that I need to graduate on that. So I'm able to split, go back and forth, like one day do IA, school, and so on and so forth.
So with the staff and the teachers and the principals, we've been able to creatively work some flexibility into scheduling, because a lot of our seniors only need 2 credits, math and an English credit. So part of our overall plan is to reach down at lower levels and enhance the skill sets, and that's going to eventually free up more time for our juniors and seniors to have these opportunities. So articulating credit agreements, concurrent credit agreements, you hear that term MOU, Memorandum of Understandings, which is basically a contract. We're trying to currently develop those in a lot of different areas for our students to be able to work through different pathways and have flexible options, whether that's nights, weekends. We've got some morning PMs, so there's a lot of flexibility that we can build into their schedules. Well, I'm really proud of, and we don't have everyone here, but for everyone here, I think we've got some great representation of students. They're entering the adult side of it, and a lot of them have been on that side to some degree already. So I'd like to give them a quick round of applause. Great staff, great teachers, and we're just combing the ranks and circling the wagons to make it work. So any other questions for us?
I just want to say thank you to the teachers who are driving this. Like Mr. Higginson, Ms. Nichols, like I see their enthusiasm. I kind of see that more than some of the others, but I just know firsthand how much, especially those two, pour into these students, and like their confidence in them, their, letting them go fix a tractor or whatever was a baler, like just giving them projects, like letting them loose on the weekends and being available for them. Like, I am so appreciative for y'all.
Aaron
does say every day he goes to work, this is fun.
I know, he loves his job.
And they're teaching them where the rubber meets the road. I mean, that's awesome. I don't know how you can not say anything positive about that.
And from a parent perspective, do you know how wonderful it is to have a kid in the house that I can just say, there's something wrong with the washer, there's something wrong with whatever, and he just fixes it. I don't worry about anything. So I've got to keep him home for longer, because I'll have to start taking care of things myself if he leaves.
I have to say we're very proud of you guys. Not everybody gets a chance to preview some of the things that you guys are doing. I mean, there's people that go to college for 4 years only to find out that's not the profession they liked, and then end up doing something else or going back to school to change it to something else and go more years to school. So I think this is a great opportunity for you guys to get your toes in the water and see what you like, experience what the real world is like, and help you choose whichever way that you choose to go.
So you two guys working for Flintco, are you getting to work on the project that's going on over there?
Yes, sir. Oh, that's awesome.
You stay on top of them and get it going. Get that done, all right? Okay, that's awesome.
These are our leaders. These are our people that are going to take care of Springdale for years and years and years.
I'm glad you all came. Parents, are there parents here that, stand up, be recognized, well, besides Debbie. Anybody else out there? Good job. Mom, Dad. You guys keep up the good work.
Well, we appreciate your support, appreciate all our administrators, because it's been a collective effort, and the teachers, without them, we can't do it. So we've got some great people in these buildings who are getting it done every day, and this is just the product. So we're really excited. Thank you.
Good job.
Excuse us, we have a date with Ross and some ice cream to celebrate.
All right,
So-
go do it.
I didn't get the memo. Your speaking skills.
Thank you, man. Nice to meet you, Chris.
Thank you for coming.
Have a good one.
Appreciate your
Great,
support.
good.
Thank you.
Just to get up there and talk like that.
Thank
as
you.
president.
It's just amazing to see young people becoming the adults that we all dreamed them to be, and of course their parents dreamed for them to be. They've got a great future. Speaking of someone who's had a great past and a great future, I'd like to introduce Ms. Kim Glass. Ms. Glass is serving her second term as president of the American Association of Employment Education, and she's doing that nationally. This is a national deal. We call her Miss National because she has multiple presidencies at the national level. I'd like to recognize Ms. Glass formally. She does a great job for us.
Thank you. So I put a packet on your spot so that you would have it, just a little information about the American Association for Employment and Education, and that is the term that Dr. Cleveland is referencing that I was just sworn in again to serve. So this association has been around since 1934, and the folks that serve on the board with me are school district folks as well as university folks. And so we really look at hiring, recruiting, and retaining people in education, and you know that's where we all are as far as looking to try to keep people in the system, and grow your own piece is a part of that. The other document that I put in there is a presentation that was a part of the conference that I emailed Trent immediately and said, when I get back and you're finished with the project you're working on, we need to get together because we need to upgrade and revise some of our recruitment materials so that we can get it up to date with some of the information that is out there. And then I also requested some information specific for Springdale. So the first page there is just how in the latest research that they had, they were having folks rate their job satisfaction. And just to know that teachers came in second only to physicians, I thought that was some information that you would be happy with. And then the back side of that is some research that the folks have put together, and this is the ones that they already had as a part of their presentation from Oklahoma and New York, basically looking at a teacher's salary that is pertinent to that area and the housing and what it costs for that area for like a new teacher or a teacher with a master's. So this is the information that I have requested specific for Springdale and for our area so that we can use that to inform folks as we go out and look to recruit folks so that they'll know what they would be making, which we already use that, but what they would be making as a new teacher and what kind of housing they could afford here versus so far over onto our salary schedule and what kind of housing that they could afford here. I also thought that that might be good, which is, I said I'll reach out to Kelly Williamson for our students that are in our teacher prep programs to know what that they can make, because a lot of the research that they were presenting was talking about how that people might not go into education because they think that it doesn't pay as well, and it might not pay as well as some positions or careers do, but when you look at the retirement that goes along with that and you play that out, that it really is a really good career, and that the pension that is there is better than some of the 401ks that are out there in the other careers that are out there. So I've got my hands on some really good research and some resources there that I think will be good for us to upgrade our materials with. So I just want to thank you all and Dr. Cleveland and the leadership team for supporting me in the work that I do get to go do when I'm out there doing those things.
Brought a lot back to us, and we appreciate that.
Yep, thank you again.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Hello again, board. I am really excited to have the opportunity to share out with you about our October 24th Professional Development Day. We were so excited in Springdale to be able to bring in Mike Matos to speak to all of our certified teachers and our administrators. To kind of put in perspective, Mike Matos is the educational equivalent to Michael Jordan is with the NBA. He's kind of a really, really big deal. And I'll be honest, I tend to fangirl around him. When I do see him, anybody who knows me knows that that's the truth. Mr. Matos typically doesn't work directly with school districts. We went on a limb and contacted his assistant and asked if he would come, and he agreed to. And he agreed to come and speak in our district for several reasons. Number one, he knows we have a school board that is very supportive of this work, and he knows that we would never be able to live out our vision if our board hadn't been supportive of that. So thank you for taking a huge risk and allowing us to have Really Out Wednesdays. Number two, he knows that our people are committed, and he knows that we are committed to doing this work in Springdale, not only to grow our student achievement, but to impact our teachers' learning and give them an opportunity to grow professionally. So Mr. Matos was in New York. He flew all the way from New York to the coast of California to do an engagement. And then he flew from California back to Arkansas just to meet with us. And so we were really, really excited. The place where we are in our process, he met with the curriculum and instruction team to kind of find out where we were with our professional learning. And he tailored the most perfect presentation for us. And so really it kind of validated all of what our principals and our teachers are learning. And he was able to validate that with all of his remarks. So I've asked Dr. Lofton from Central and Ms. Crumby from Westwood to talk to you about their perspectives and what their teachers learned as a result of the October 24th professional development that's going to propel their schools forward.
Hello, good evening. And I want to say too, one thing that he did comment on was all of the districts and presentations he's given over the years, which has been a lot. I think he said there were, five superintendents that actually stayed, that didn't leave and go on to do the work that they had to do that was more important than hearing from him. So I really appreciated that Dr. Cleveland leads our district by example and to show his commitment to this work, because as they told us, we don't need to date the PLC process or be engaged to it. We need to be married. We need to be fully committed because when you have this ring, you don't want to be halfway there. And so I think that meant a lot. So when we went back to Westwood after hearing from him, which is very rare in a district our size, that we all hear the same thing about teaching and learning. The only time we're really all together is back to school, and we hear about, our why, and we can do this, and we're all pumped up, and we see students perform, but we don't talk a lot about the nitty-gritty of teaching and learning. It's just not the best appropriate place and time for that. So I think just that opportunity for the entire certified staff to hear the same message was very powerful. And we went back to Westwood, and I had our staff just really reflect, ponder, talk in groups about what they had learned. And then we, as elementary did, we got our big Post-it chart and our markers, and we made a chart. And so they came up with 16, I almost brought it with me, but I thought that would be too elementary-ish of me. They came up with 16 things that they took away, and then several things they check marked because they took those same things. So I just wanted to share the top 3 that I think were the most thought of by our staff. We need to teach all students at grade level. So we cannot underestimate what our kids can do. We cannot have low expectations. We have to teach at grade level. Now, are all of our kids working at grade level? No. So we have to figure out how to scaffold and how to make it accessible. The second thing was learning is our focus. Opinions take a back seat. So oftentimes in education, we feel like this, we think they can do it. We call that at my school cardiac data. Our hearts tell us they can do things or can't do things, and sometimes that's not accurate. We have got to look at the evidence, the cold, hard evidence. And so really, that's got to take the forefront over our opinions. And educators have a lot of opinions, so that can be hard. And then the third thing is all means all. And we've said this in this district for a long time. Dr. Rollins said it, but Solution Tree's definition of all is any student who's going to be expected to go out and make a living and provide for themselves, which is 95%. Even kids who get resource services, kids who are learning English, they're going to have to make it one day. And so that means everybody. So we can't think, well, they're over here in the self-contained setting, they're doing, no, I mean, all means all. And so I thought those were just really powerful takeaways from my building. And I have seen him in person several times. I've watched many a video, read many a book by him, but every time I learned so many new things. He's so passionate. You can tell that he really cares, and he's seen this work. He has personally turned around schools. And so I can say the same exact thing that he says, but it doesn't always carry the same amount of weight because we're in the process of turning around our school. He's done it. So we really appreciate the support of you guys to bring him in, and it was very powerful, and we'd love to have him again.
First of all, just want to thank each of you for your time. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of commitment on your part to serve our students, and thanks for the support you give us. Along with that, bringing in Mr. Mattos was really powerful for our teachers as well. The things that we were able to take away is just our teachers developing those essential standards. And if you've ever seen the standards, the state standards, whether it's even one content, I mean, they can get pretty thick. When you narrow that down to a focus of essential things that we want to make sure all of our kids know, and as Kimberly said, on grade level, then that takes away a lot of pressure of trying to teach everything. And I think the message that he brought is giving us the ability to focus on less, but making sure that we do it really well. In addition to that, our electives. So one of the things that the new focus has brought us is the opportunity to give all of our teachers plan time and working together. And so bringing all of our teachers on board with the same focus of helping our kids to reach the understanding and reading and thinking and processing has really been, I think, instrumental at Central, because it's got our teachers focused on really the skills that our kids need to be successful. When I was younger, we used to get on I guess I'm gonna try to sum it up for you. When I was younger, we used to get on our bikes and we'd make a ramp. And we'd go up Letitia Street. We'd get on our bikes and we'd pedal as fast as we could. And we'd hit that ramp. And we would be down there, I don't know if y'all ever did this, but we'd measure how far we got. And I would say Mike Mattos being there, along with all the work that we've been doing from August all the way through, going through December, it's kind of like we've been pedaling really hard with PLCs, trying to do the work. But Mike and the work that we've done here in the fall is like the ramp. And when we hit it, it's going to be really great to see how far we can go, because it's going to have a big impact on our kids.
Okay, I'd like to introduce Dr. Kelly Langle, who's going to provide our district report to the public.
Good evening, board. Good evening, Dr. Cleveland. Ms. Crumbry mentioned that we needed cold, hard data, and that's what we have with the annual report to the public. So this is our annual report to the public. It's required every year. Thank you. Face it the right direction. Our mission, pursuing educational excellence, Springdale Public Schools ensures a safe and inclusive environment, empowering a community of learners. Our vision, Springdale Public Schools provides personalized, innovative, and culturally diverse learning opportunities to launch each student to a successful life pursuit. This year, we've updated our big audacious goals to include that each student be on or above grade level in reading, math, and any state assessment. Each student will be on the path to on-time graduation and then be ready for post-secondary placement after graduation. Our district has 4 pillars for student success: safety, student achievement, personalization, and partnerships. This allows for student-centered success through rigorous and relevant essential standards, high purposeful engagement, and quality instruction. Through multiple lenses, we have ensured scaffolding and support for our teaching and learning vision that include building a culture of collaboration, quality lesson plans that engage students, student-centered programs, and focusing on the K-12 essentials that I'll elaborate on the next few slides. Professional learning communities, we have for every teacher, every week for 80 minutes. During the PLC process, we address the teaching and learning cycle, the essential standards, and our response to intervention process. This also includes supporting teachers through the coaching cycle. District technology-rich lessons accessible in multiple platforms. Our lessons embed literacy while focusing on problem solving and application, observation analysis, and addressing the standards and necessary skills. As you can see on this slide, our schools promote a multitude of student-centered programs. And I'll still like to point out again this year about the early childhood program and the EAST program, the largest in the state. Our student-centered programs also include our advanced programs, which we have AP, IB, concurrent credit, GT, multiple pathways to graduation, competency-based learning, associate's degree, and our national career academies. This year, we continued to go deep into phonics first. As we continue to develop a culture of literacy, we have developed a research-based program known as Roots that mirrors the Arkansas Reading Initiative. This program encourages a culture of literacy, a culture of reading, by coordinating a district reading campaign in conjunction with community partners, parents, and teachers to establish the importance of reading in homes, schools, and communities, with the goals of sharpening the focus and strengthening instruction, create community collaboration, and build a culture of reading. MathQuest is the state program being implemented to grow and strengthen our authentic numeracy. Our teachers are expanding their practices of teaching mathematical concepts by increasing complexity and higher order thinking levels. This year, we have identified 2,152 gifted students in the Springdale School District. Every kindergarten, first, and second grade students have weekly GT enrichment lessons. Our third to seventh grade students have 150 weekly minutes, and our 8th to 12th grade students are served through their honors options classes with honors challenge math class, advanced classes, AP, and accelerated courses. I was really excited to put together this slide because this is about our advanced placement. We had over 2,000 AP exams taken last year. 52% of the total exams received a score of 3 or better. That's up 9% from last year. 221 students received a score of a 5, 306 a 4, and 545 a 3. 86% of our eligible IB students receive the IB diploma, which is the highest in our history. This year we had 4 2021 semifinalists advance to national merit finalists and have identified 9 national merit semifinalists in the 2022 cohort. Additionally, 306 students last year earned the seal of biliteracy. We heard Ms. Delgado Garcia mention that she had that in 3 languages, fluent earlier. Through partnerships, we are strengthening and deepening our personalization of student learning. Some of our partnerships include school and community partners, partners in education, and career and technical education advisory partners. Oh, I was behind a slide, sorry. Our partners. But above all, it's our partnership with our parents and families. In addition to parent organizations in our school, we also offer family literacy programs. We support parents and families learning together and are excited to bring our families together again in person. The family literacy program is in 13 of our schools. This slide demonstrates our demographics that we have currently in the district. As of October 1st, we're serving 21,696 students. About a third of that population are English language learners, over 70% economically disadvantaged, and 11% students with disabilities. School letter grades are going to be coming out very shortly. They haven't been released yet, but as soon as they are, we will update this slide. Additionally, this slide, you'll see that it's a year behind. It has the 18, 19, 21 year. As soon as those scores are released, this will also be updated. The next 3 slides show how our students moved academically from 21 to 22. Ultimately, we want to see students moving from the needs improvement to ready and exceeding. But if we look at one example here, let's look at the needs support in 2021, the green lines that go over. We'll see that a good chunk were still in needs of support in 2022. But a good percentage of those students moved up to close in 2022. And you can see that thin line at the top. We even had some students who went from a needs of support to ready. On the right-hand side, you can also see where some of our students have, I'll say, aged out of testing because we don't test in grade 11, or left the district. So this is our math progression. This is what we look like in science. And here are our ELA scores. These next 3 slides describe the progress that we have on the English language assessment, the ELPA 21. As you can see in the legend, green indicates the movement of proficient students, yellow progressing, and orange emerging. The slides are broken up into grade bands with a cumulative look at the right-hand side. So this slide shows grades 1 through 5. We can see K5, and then our district altogether at K12. The next band shows us 6, 9. And then we can see our 10, 11, 12 schools. If you look at the last 2 columns, you can see that the overall district increases in proficient students by 425%. We have 3 years of graduation data broken down into 4- and 5-year graduation rates, which are both components of ESSA. The graduation rates in the white boxes, it's hard to see on this. HAR-BER High School, Don Tyson School in 2021, and Don Tyson 5-year average are above the state averages. So that's really good. I'm doing graduation appeals right now, and that's very positive to see. The following schools are our schools of innovation. We have Don Tyson, Sonora Elementary and Sonora Middle, Westwood Elementary, and Rollins is in progress to becoming one of our schools of innovation. We are required to report out bullying. This slide contains the required information on bullying, and you can see the 5-year comparison with the top line containing the last year's information. You can see that we've really from 18, 19, 22 been consistent minus the 2 years in COVID. I am pleased to announce that all 29 schools in the district continue to be accredited through the 21-22 school year. And I'd like to close with this quote from Dr. Cleveland. Our school board supports our work in creating a culture of collaboration. It is more important than ever that educators continually learn and enhance their practice to support each other and improve student success. So this will be posted on our website. Are there any questions?
I don't have any. Thank you for putting it together.
Thank you for doing that. Sports?
Good evening, Dr. Cleveland and School Board. As part of our charter status, we present a report to the public each year. So we will begin with that now. So as part of our CTM matrix, we revisited our mission and vision. Our mission and vision had been created when Don Tyson School of Innovation started in 2014, probably prior to that. So as part of that CTM matrix, we have updated our vision. We always talk about students graduating with a Diploma Plus. So we felt like that was really important to be part of our mission. Ensure every student graduates with a Diploma Plus through personalized and accelerated learning connected to the arts, college, industry, business or industry. We also updated our vision in this process. Don Tyson School of Innovation will be a high reliability school and the leading school of choice in Arkansas because of our commitment to innovation. We have had a busy year. Every 5 years we have to renew our School of Innovation status, and so we completed that at the end of last year. And received notification at the beginning of this school year that has been renewed. We also just went through the process of highly effective schools, which is through Solution Tree. We submit our strategic action plan, and they look at it to make sure that it's aligned with the 3 big ideas of a PLC, which is ensuring every student learns a collaborative culture and results oriented. So we just found out this week that we have that accreditation. And we also are going through the high reliability school accreditation, and you get accreditation at each of the 5 levels. And so we've been working on all 5 levels, but that piece at level 1, the steps that we go through, we're doing that this year, and then we will go through level 2 on up to level 5. So that's in progress right now. Again, that is through Solution Tree and Marzano Resources for that recognition. And so part of that high reliability school model is a competency-based education, and that is who we were created to be at Don Tyson School of Innovation. And the why of that is that our students have multiple opportunities and ways to learn content. We believe in voice and choice, and if you're on our campus, I believe that you see that in action. Grades are based on evidence of learning, not just how they did at one point in time. Students make progress toward meeting and exceeding. We may have students who are at beginning or approaching, but that just means they haven't yet meeting or exceeding. We believe that all students will make progress to the meeting the learning goals. And so here's just some data for our demographics and enrollment for this year. We have close to 1,800 students on site. It's very surprising because before COVID, we probably had about 200 blended learners who came on A or B days. And after COVID, that number has gone down to 50. So that's just been surprising through the COVID, pandemic, what that looks like after COVID. We have something called a digital Phoenix, and that means it's a full-time on-site student, but they are taking one online class in addition to the on-site classes that they have, but we code those as a digital Phoenix. Those students, the online class that they're taking is served through our VIA teachers. Virtual learners, we have 358 virtual learners, and so that is broken down. K-5, we have 61, 6-8, we have 76, and then 9-12, we have 221. Something very surprising is 100 of the 221 are seniors, and most of them are doing virtual because they work full-time, and then they do classes online so that they have that flexible schedule. And then you can see our demographics on the right-hand side of the screen. And so I wanted to just take a moment and look at our virtual Innovation Academy. So virtual of COVID doesn't exist anymore, and so we're very excited that we have a dynamic virtual program, and we really feel like that the district has put forth criteria to be a virtual learner. So there are a lot of students who come and complete our intent to enroll and say, I want to enroll in virtual. And we look at criteria that we know kind of projects if a student's going to be successful as a virtual student. And so a lot of times we will direct that family to possibly look at blended learning. And also one of the unique things about our virtual program is that we do have a virtual learning lab that is open every single day for students to come on site and get support. And so I don't believe another virtual program in Northwest Arkansas offers that opportunity to students. And even with our K-5 students, we have different learning opportunities so that they can come on site, or we plan field trips with them, and so they are having that face-to-face interaction with teachers. We've also made it a requirement that if you are a virtual learner, that it is a requirement that you come on site for all standardized testing, because meeting that testing threshold is important for our school and for our district. And as you noted earlier, one of the students who has been placed as an instructional assistant in our district was a virtual student. So all of the opportunities for Diploma Plus, those are available to our virtual students too. And so we make a very intentional effort to make sure that we're educating students and we're giving them, the virtual students, the same opportunities that we have for our on-site students for that Diploma Plus. And these are just our curriculum and opportunities that we have. We have a great career and technical pathways and programs, as well as our academic pathways and programs. And this year we added an Associate of Graphic Design degree that we have students who have started on that pathway in addition to our Associates of Arts and Science. And we also added a pathway that actually starts this year, that we have students starting in this year, with Sam M. Walton College of Business. And so we have aligned the concurrent classes that they take in high school. So upon graduation, they would be 3 classes short of being able to enter into Sam M. Walton College of Business. So they can either take that in the summer after they graduate through NWAC, or they can start and actually enter into it the spring semester of their freshman year. And here's just some data from this year. So we've had an 8% increase in AP enrollment for our students. Concurrent credits, we've had a 38% increase from previous years. And so that's just the number of concurrent credits that students are taking, which is 547. This year, we have 8 students who are on track to graduate with an associate's degree. 18 students also have anywhere from 30 to 57 hours, so they have that early college experience. And then we have 10 students who are beginning that Sam Imwant College of Business pathway, so we're excited about that. And then looking back last year, looking at our concurrent college credits earned, we did have an increase last year for grades 10-12. And we had 10 students who actually earned their associate's degrees last year. One of those students actually earned 2 associate degrees last year. Work-based learning, we had a 9% increase in students who are involved in that pathway and program. Obviously, our industry certifications you heard from students today. Many of those go through our industrial maintenance program, but also all of the other career and technical classes on campus, we offer those certifications as well. And then our completers of the 252 students in the class of 22, 100 pathways were completed. We could have had, that is understood that one student may have completed more than one pathway. And so just some things that, are a focus at DTSOI and foundational to success of our students in the programs. Personalized academic planning. Much of that happens in our college and career readiness classes. We are on block schedule, so we have 8 total classes. One of our required classes, grades 6 through 12, is our college and career readiness class. Our charter and our School of Innovation status, we have the ability to embed some courses together. So in that college and career readiness class, at every grade level, we have either a state required class for middle school or a high school requirement embedded in those college and career readiness classes. So they're actually getting more than just the credit of the college and career readiness class within that one platform. And so our student success plans we do through that class. And then it's also the platform that we're able to really educate and support students in being able to know the requirements that they need to be able to take advantage of some of the Diploma Plus opportunities that we have on campus. We have flexible learning that we talked about earlier, virtual. We have face-to-face, and we still offer blended. Accelerated pathways, of course, associate's degrees, internships, and apprenticeships. The school started, and it was always known as Real World Wednesday, and so that's been expanded to Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we haven't come up with a better name than Real World Wednesday. So we're still working on that, but we do that twice a week now, where we really work with business and industry to bring in speakers so that our students have exposure to different careers and can go hear about that career education that you needed or training that you needed and be able to ask questions. And so just the foundation, I think, of Tyson School of Innovation is partnerships. And so that is just something that we continually invest in and our teachers invest in, and the opportunities I think that are made possible for our students are truly because of the partnerships that we have with our industry and business partners, and of course the partnership that we have with you all. And coming soon, we're excited that we added EMR this year, and so next year we will actually be having EMT. So students, when you're 17, you're able to take that certification and work as an EMT. We also will be doing engineering, technical education, design, and then just through conversation with Mr. Ellis today, some things that we've been working on, licensed practical nursing pathways. So LPN will be added in addition to the CNA programs. So those are just some exciting opportunities coming to Don Tyson School of Innovation for our students. So any questions?
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know that's a requirement, but it's also very good. Put in the records, that way we know what's going on in all the schools. But anyway, she did a great job. Thank you, Dr. Langen, for being here as well. Good job. All right, board, it's going to be an interesting 2023. It's amazing to even say 2023, but as you know, I had an opportunity to become Superintendent of the Year, which is fantastic. I still recall the night you lied to me, Mr. Hutchinson. That's, I'm just kidding. It's a lot of fun. But it does create a little bit of an issue in that some things that are scheduled in January and February are on our board meeting nights. And so I really hate to ask, but I'm so appreciative of you. But I'm requesting that we potentially change the board meeting nights in January and February to the 9th and to the 7th. I hope that doesn't put a hardship on anyone, and here's why. In January, we have our Superintendent Symposium in Arkansas. Mr. Ellis and I, along with Dr. Smith and Ms. Tischer, will be presenting some of our work in Springdale to the entire state superintendent collective. So that's a really good thing, but it's for a couple of days. And then in February, you get to go to San Antonio and find out if Arkansas is represented in as the Superintendent of the Year. So we'll see. It'll be interesting, but I'll be gone on the regular scheduled night, if that is okay. So messaged each one of you, and I believe each one of you are okay with these dates. And so if you don't mind to just approve those two changes, that would be great. We'll get them changed on the website, should you approve.
I make a motion to move the January and February board meetings to January 9th and February 7th.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mrs. Creek and a second by Mrs. Cook to move the board meetings as shown in our agenda. All those in favor of doing that, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed to that? All right, let's do it.
Really appreciate it. I'd like to ask our Deputy Superintendent, Mr. Kelly Hayes, to come forward, please.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Cleveland. The first item that I have for you this evening are related party disclosures. I'll just run through those, and I think we could do them all as one motion if you're okay with that. The first one that we need to disclose is Catering Unlimited. Catering Unlimited is owned partially by Melissa Henry, and Miss Henry is a teacher of the school district. And so occasionally we have used Catering Unlimited, so we want to disclose that. Gordon Sasser. Mr. Sasser is an employee of the district. He is a former professional pole vaulter, and we have the opportunity to purchase some of his, I guess, used pole vaults at a very good price, and so we wanted to disclose that relationship. And then the next one is Maria Villegas. Ms. Villegas is an employee of the district, but she also does, she's a baker. She does baked goods in addition to her work with the school. And so if the opportunity arose for us to purchase some of those, we wanted to disclose that relationship. And then the final one is Donald Tucker. Mr. Tucker is paid to broadcast HAR-BER football, and his wife, I think it's Stephanie. Is that right? His wife, Stephanie, is a teacher in our school district. Mr. Tucker and Catering Unlimited, these are renewals of previous ones that you have already approved, and the other two are for the first time. So I would ask that you pass a resolution authorizing us to do business with these entities in the event that it's in the best interest of the district to do so.
I'll make a motion to approve the related party transactions. All right, we have a motion by Mr. Emerson, a second by Mr. Bell to approve the what are they called? The,
Related party resolutions.
Party resolutions, thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed to that? Done.
Thank you. The next item that I have for your consideration is are the October 22 financials. So I was looking over them, obviously, and on the revenue side, you can see that we're slightly behind where we were this time last year, and I attribute that mainly to our local property tax receipts at this point. Obviously, this next month will be a huge month for us. It always is, and so I'm crossing my fingers that we'll catch up and move back ahead after everyone meets the deadline and pays their taxes. So, and then on the expenditure side, we're slightly behind where we were this time last year, but actually that's more in line with where we are typically at this point in the year. As y'all recall, over the last several years, we've been able to, because of COVID leave, we've been able to move some of our normally district salary expenditures over and use ESSER funds for that, but we don't have COVID leave this year. So this is more representative of where we typically are at this time of year. So I feel really good about it, but I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Good, Debbie.
I'll make a motion to approve the October financials as presented. Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mrs. Creek and a second by Mrs. Cook to approve the financial statements as presented this evening. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed?
Okay, now we'll have Mr. White.
Hello, Board. Dr. Cleveland. I've got a construction update. So at Central, they've got the electrical all roughed in. There's more of the electrical. They've also got the plumbing roughed in. They're supposed to start pouring the slabs on the west side tomorrow. So that'll make a lot of progress at Central. Southwest, they've also got electrical and plumbing rough-ins going in. They're going to start pouring those slabs soon as well. That's the weight room walls in the back behind the concrete setup. And then that's the wood trusses that's getting ready to go on that building. So it's moving forward. Springdale High School, that's a view looking to the west at the new walls that are going in. Just another view. So I don't know if you guys have been by there, but they're making a lot of progress. That's another view of it. It's actually got a semi coming out of the side, so that gives it a little size, so you know how big it is.
Jeremy, that's just the main gym right there, right?
Yes, this is just the main gym. So they're making a lot of progress on the block, and then they'll start pouring the slabs after the block's up at Springdale High.
Is there a problem once it gets really, really cold with pouring those slabs, or?
There could be. It has to get pretty cold to really affect it.
Okay, good.
So they're making a lot of progress at all of the construction sites. We're also working on the George Elementary. We're in the process of getting estimates and everything on that. Still, Kelly and myself are working with insurance to try to finalize that claim, hopefully.
Still not finished the claim?
We've got a meeting tomorrow, and hopefully that'll be the last one. So we are moving forward at George. We should have 100% drawings in December on that project, and then I'll start adding it into my presentation.
Is Cord doing that one?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're working with Dusty to get all that worked out now. Do you guys have any questions?
You don't have to worry about mowing for a little bit.
No, that's a plus. Okay. All right, thanks.
Well, good evening. It's so nice to be here with you all tonight. It feels like it's just been a night of celebrating so many great students and their accomplishments and our school district. And Sherry and I are here to add more to the celebration. Last weekend, we went to the Arkansas Education Association's Representative Assembly in Little Rock. Springdale had the second largest delegation in attendance, so we were really proud of that. And we walked away with some awards that we're very proud of. SEA won the Aspiring Educator Sponsorship Award. This was the first time that this award was given, and it was given to the local association that sponsored the most interns within their district. So we had a great friendly competition going with Fayetteville, and we were the winners. We've been working really hard to support aspiring educators because, like we all know, they are our future. And we've been supporting them in their schools, helping them network throughout the district, and helping them make connections with teachers in other buildings to get new ideas for their classrooms and just build their relationships. And also, finally, Sherry Pianalto won the Arkansas Education's ESP of the Year Award. Several applications were submitted from all across the state, but I was told that Sherry's was definitely the most outstanding, and we're very, very proud of her and all the work that she does for the education support staff in our district. She is an advocate for her students and for public education in schools and throughout her community. Dr. Cleveland played a role in this, and we really appreciate his help too. Her name has been submitted to the National Education Association, and she is in the running for their National ESP of the Year. So she'll attend that award ceremony in Seattle in March to find out the results. But Sherry is my constant reminder of how important our classified staff is. They help make sure that our schools run smoothly and that all of our students are supported and our teachers are supported. And in her nomination statement, she said that she wants to make sure ESPs know they are important, they are valued, and that they have a voice. She brings so much pride and integrity to her position and her work every day, and we are so happy to have her supporting and serving our students. Sherry, would you like to say anything? I told her she had to come show you guys her award because she is such a great representative of Springdale, and we just appreciate you guys and all that y'all do for our district. And so, Sherry, making things possible for all of our students and staff.
All I want to say is that at last count from DHOPS, we have over 1,200 classified staff. And that includes your bus drivers, your paraeducators, your clerical staff, your custodial staff, like maintenance, all of those. So what like Corey said, I want to make sure is that our classified staff has a voice. They are very important in our students' education. So that was just kind of one of my main goals, that I really want the classified staff to be represented. So, any questions?
So Seattle.
Congratulations.
Now, when do you go to Seattle?
March.
It's exciting. Congratulations.
Yes, great
Thank
job. Anything else, Dr. Cleveland?
No, sir, no, I don't know if anyone signed up.
Oh, thank you.
do have Judith Yanez.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you for listening tonight. I know you guys are tired, but I'm the founding executive director of an organization called Rooted, and the last 5 years, I've been working with Latino immigrant parents in the community so they understand their education options. One of the schools is Tyson School of Innovation. So throughout these 5 years, we've learned a lot about parent engagement. I am also a daughter of immigrant parents, and I love that Eddie's on the board because we understand that somehow our education system, education, learning separates us from our parents because they no longer know how to support us, especially if they didn't have an education. So this work is a passion for me because my dad and my mom taught me who I am, but they will never understand that because they think because they didn't have an education, they weren't able to support me. So my work now for the next 2 years, and I wanted to come up here and just explain this so you don't think I'm snooping around, but is returning the dignity and respect back to parents that they can be engaged, not in education, but in learning. That they are learners themselves, and that they're capable of supporting their kids' learning experience. The pandemic, if it would be a font, it would be underlined, bold, and highlighted of what happened. And parents actually now have an understanding of how they're not engaged in the learning process. So we've done listening sessions, we've done focus groups, we're doing a survey right now of their understanding of being engaged in their child's learning. And the answers are breaking my heart because learning for them begins and ends at a school. So right now what we're doing is we're pulling all the parent engagement plans that the schools have, and parents are helping me with this, and overwhelmingly we're seeing that they're in English. So next 2 years, not snooping around, but I'm gonna be focused on taking those parent engagement plans, seeing what the gaps are, and how information from parent-teacher conferences are being actually utilized to support student learning in the household. So that way we can build a support system for parents, so then they can support students, which then they can support teachers in schools. So that'll be my work for the next 2 years, and I just wanted to come up here and just tell you guys I'm excited. As a Springdale School, I know my time's up, but as a Springdale School graduate, I know the struggle. And now that my kids are out of college, I've taken my work intergenerational with my own family. So I know what it takes to be one of those kids that we're trying to work so hard for and how that work goes through generations. So I'm excited. Hopefully I get your support. And after these 2 years, how we can collaborate and coordinate with parents to actually support a district. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
No, thank you.
All right, with that, I think we can adjourn. Thanks for being here, everybody.